good to see you all here, gathered for the winter solstice, which is happening on Sunday, I believe. I'm Regan, and I'll be guiding us through some forest bathing today in the spirit of the winter solstice. So I would love to maybe, if it's all right with you all, if you feel comfortable, maybe saying what the winter solstice means to you. I can share that the winter solstice is this time of year that is the shortest day, the longest night, when the sun is at its lowest elevation in the sky. And the word solstice means quite literally, sun stands still, right? This day that the sun stands still. And it refers to some other words we might hear this time of year. Midwinter might be a word you hear, or simply the shortest day, or the longest night. And so the significance of the winter solstice is twofold. It is the darkest time of the year, and is also the moment at which we begin the journey out of the darkness, right? It is the rebirth of the sun, the return of the light. Yeah, we go dark to go light, you know? It's even the way that a tree grows, right? It must first grow down into the darkness and then up to the light, right? And so here we are, reaching the darkest, longest day, returning to the light. And so I'd like to know if you celebrate the winter solstice, or if you're new to it, that's okay. But what it might mean to you this time of year, to mark this as a natural rhythm in your life. Yeah. So we might think winter is happening right now, you know, like it's winter right now. But winter actually starts on Sunday on the solstice. We shift seasons, and we shift even elements. Right now we're in the earth element, and we'll be moving into the water element, depending on which elements you might follow. So we're shifting seasons, shifting, you know, astrological meaning, shifting elements. You know, it's a time of transition from one way of light to another, or one way of darkness to light. You know, this time of year can be, you know, oriented towards a time of renewal, a time to immerse ourselves in the healing, creative dark. We're still quite dark, even though we're turning to the light. We're still in the darkest time of the year. A time for visioning and dreaming, to contemplate the cycles of nature, to appreciate the still point before the next cycle is underway. This turning of the earth, you know, these trips around the sun, if you will, and letting go of the old and welcoming in the new. So those are some of the meanings around the solstice. And as far as our time together today for forest bathing, I'll be offering us a poem. We'll stretch our bodies just a little bit. We stay in our chairs, just a small gesture there. Offer us a meditation around the four elements. I like to bring in an elements practice this time of year to remind us that we are made of earth, water, air, and fire. Those are the four fundamental elements, and to celebrate those within our bodies and as nature, right? And then I'll offer you a couple of invitations to engage with the natural world. You're welcome to take those indoors or outdoors. Those, depending on our timing, those might be around 5 minutes each. We'll see how things flow. And I'll also offer you an opportunity to unmute and share anything that you're noticing after those invitations, so that we can, you know, share in community, kind of create a story together from each of our places, wherever we are in the country or outside the country, elsewhere, US or elsewhere. And bring in as much as we can into the space. So there's an opportunity to share as well, even if it's something metaphoric or symbolic, or it could be quite literally that there was a texture you felt and it just felt a certain way for you, and you can describe that. And all of that is about coming home to our bodies. You know, the bodies are really a place that we can be a refuge. You know, even if we have gone or are going through breast cancer, our bodies are here to support us. And I will share that when I was going through my journey, you know, the first thing I did, believe it or not, was love my body, because I had been pretty hard on my body up until that point, to be honest. I expected a lot from it. And so, you know, learning to love the body, care for the body, nurture the body, you know, nurse the body, offer nourishment to the body when we can. And this practice, while it is a practice of nature connection, that is not separate from connecting with yourself and with others today in community. Okay. So I'd like to start off with any questions before we get started, by the way. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'd like to start off with a little poem that is around the winter solstice by Jan Richardson. Is anyone familiar with Jan Richardson poetry? Blessed are you who bear the light. Blessed are you who bear the light in unbearable times, who testify to its endurance amid the unendurable, who bear witness to its persistence when everything seems in shadow and grief. Blessed are you in whom the light lives, in whom the brightness blazes, your heart a chapel, an altar, where in the deepest night can be seen the fire that shines forth in you, in unaccountable faith, in stubborn hope, in love that illumines every broken thing it finds. So blessed are you who bear the light, and we all bear the light. And we all can discover that light within us. And the winter solstice is a time in which we can celebrate that, because it is quite literally the return of the light. We are quite literally turning towards the light. And we can do this together, spiritually as well, if you will. All right, so I'd like to give you an invitation to just move your body in a way that feels good to you. This might mean raising your arms, always staying in that comfort zone, that range of motion that feels good to you. But listen to your body right now. What does it need? What way can it move? Maybe it's some shoulder shrugs. Maybe it's rotating the neck. Maybe it's offering a small twist to the spine. And these can be gentle, slow movements, but really listening to which way your body might like to stretch and move if it would like to do so. And just noticing how that feels, how those movements land in the body, noticing the stretch. When we stretch like this, we bring extra blood and oxygen to those areas, can help even energetically move any static energy that we have, right? Just simple movements. Yeah, nice. And when you feel ready, you're welcome to gently move into a sitting posture. And if you want to keep moving while I'm speaking and offering the meditation because that feels right for your body, you're welcome to do that. Sometimes I'll admit I even find myself rocking ever so subtly in meditation. I find that soothing sometimes. So you have permission to move your body any way you like, to find a posture that feels comfortable to you. And so closing the eyes or lowering the gaze, I'm going to guide us through a 4 elements meditation. We'll begin here first with just coming in touch with the breath, settling in here to our posture, bringing our awareness inwards towards the breath. And maybe offering yourself a nice deep inhale and a nice slow exhale. Maybe one more time. Filling the lungs and full exhale, slow, deep exhale. Allowing the breath to come to its natural rhythm. And there's no need to change anything here. Just taking in the pleasure of breathing. Of being alive. And you might want to feel places where you're making contact with another surface. These would be your contact points, or your touch points. This could be your seat against the back of your thighs, your buttocks. Maybe you're making contact with your back in the back of a chair or a bed. Your feet on the floor, if you're sitting or standing. And noticing those contact points as a sense of gravity, of being held by the earth, of being supported. offering perhaps a sense of groundedness and stability. And that gravity is this gentle pull of home, this pull of our Mother Earth. And we'll begin here with the earth element. We know first the earth element in our bodies as anything that is solid and stable, something we might perceive as hard, durable, dense. You might know this as our bones, our teeth, even our hair, our muscles, our flesh. This is the earth element. And we know the earth element all around us on the earth. And even in our homes, which contains many, many earth elements. It's all earth, really. But imagining, if you're not outdoors right now, imagining taking a look around a forest, noticing the earth element, all that is solid and stable, the trees, the rocks. Maybe there are big boulders. Maybe there's a mountain. And maybe you can be sitting like a mountain in this earth element. So noticing the earth element within you and all around you, knowing it's not separate, not different. And we'll shift now to the element of fire. We know the element of fire in our bodies as temperature. And this temperature we might often feel as a warmth, right? But it can also mean temperature as an absence of warmth or a coolness. But knowing the warmth in our bodies, where we might feel that, just noticing your body, noticing any areas that feel warm to you right now. This is the fire element. Maybe your hands are warm. Maybe your belly, your heart area is warm. This heart beating, always beating. Your body metabolizing creates a warmth, right? And this warmth circulates throughout the body, keeping our bodies warm. And we know the fire element around us mostly as the epitome of the sun, right? And if you're indoors, imagining the sun outdoors, where that might be for you right now in the time of day. Maybe it's coming in through the window, the sunlight. So the warmth of the sun takes 8 minutes to travel from the sun to the earth to reach us. And so knowing that that fire element within our bodies, this temperature, and knowing the fire element all around us, and most specifically through the sun that warms the earth. That brings us light. So in you and around you, not separate, not different. And shifting now to the element of water. all that is fluid and flowing. We know this in our bodies first as tears, as saliva. We know this as blood. This element of water that moves through our body, even our lymphatic tissues and our vessels. We are made mostly of water, roughly 70%, and interestingly, so is the earth, about 70% water. And so we know the water element all around us as rivers, streams, creeks, rain, snow, the ocean. Water taking on many forms, from ocean to cloud, to rain, snow, sleet, to stream, creek, river. And so we know this water element flowing within our bodies is no different than the water element all around us. And even that we drink the water element and bring that into our body. So not different, not separate. And shifting now into the element of air. We know the air element in our bodies most predominantly through the breath. The inflow and outflow of air. This continual exchange with the environment around us. We breathe in the oxygen from the trees, and with an exhale, return the gift of carbon dioxide. And so there is this natural reciprocity with the breath, this gift of breath. And knowing too that as we breathe, these molecules of air have been around for a very long time. And so in some ways we're breathing the same air as our ancestors. The air all around us as the wind, the air that travels across the sky, through the trees, the breeze that blows our hair in the wind. This air element all around us. Breathing in and breathing out, knowing we are not different, not separate. And so bringing together the elements of earth, fire, water, and air. Knowing we are made of this, that we are part of the earth, that we are made from the elements of the earth, the elements of fire, the elements of water, the elements of air. And that we very much belong here. feel into that totality, into that completeness, into that wholeness of the four elements. And as this meditation practice comes to a close, you're welcome to wiggle your fingers and toes, to maybe offer your body a nice stretch. You've been sitting still. And I'd like to just offer out if there's anything anyone would like to share in experiencing the four elements in this way, through this meditation, connecting you, to the earth and the many elements, knowing you're not separate, not different. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Yeah, I feel like every time, we can share. If you're feeling up to sharing, there's never any pressure to share. We all get a little wiser for it, right? It allows us to touch into the practice and our time together with even more wisdom for each of what you bring. So the invitation here, because we are moving towards the light, is to notice the light. And you can notice the light in many ways. So where you are, when this invitation will do for about 6 minutes, I think. So if you'd like to find a candle, or you have a candle already lit and there's a flame and you'd like to watch the light flicker, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to look out the window if you're indoors and notice how the light is shining. Where is it shining? Where is it not shining? What is the quality of light? What are you noticing maybe about the sky? Or any source of light that might be near you. So, as we're turning towards the light and the return of the light, and this is a gentle return to the light, right? Because it takes all the way up to spring for things to really begin to grow like that. But this gentle welcoming and return of the light, to notice that, to watch that, to be with that. Also, this is the element of fire, right? To be with that gently. And you're welcome to have your video on or off while you do this, but I will call you back in about 6 minutes, and I think I can go get my flute, and I'll do it with my flute. Okay, so I'll call you back in 6 minutes. Enjoy noticing the light. right, welcoming you all back from noticing the light. How was that? What did you notice? Is there anything anyone would like to share? And this can be something, again, you literally noticed, or something you symbolically noticed, or something you noticed in your body, and anything at all. Thank you for sharing, noticing the light. I'd like to offer you a second invitation. This one is going to be around the earth element. We're really going to ground ourselves here through the sense of touch. So I mentioned earlier that we are still in the earth element, if you will. Once winter begins, we're in the water element, depending on what chart you follow. But so as we're in these last days of the earth element, you can think of the earth here as really anything where you are. If you're indoors, I like to remind people too that if you have wood in your home, whether that's a wood floor or a dresser or a coffee table or stairs, chair, whatever it might be, what is wood? Wood is a tree. Wood was once a tree. When you walk on your floorboards, you are walking on a tree that once lived somewhere, had sunshine shining on it, alive, creating, oxygen, participating in those underground networks. So anywhere you see wood, and you see the layers of the wood or the pattern of the wood, different woods have different patterns and layers. That's also, the way that it grows, right? That indicates that it's this type of wood and it grows like this. So each has its own pattern depending on how it's cut. It's a little bit different pattern, but. So I'd like to just remind you that, nature is everywhere inside your home. Earth element is everywhere. So if you have shells, a stone, sometimes if you have something heavy, if you're feeling like you really need to ground, holding a rock can be helpful. Anything heavy to the hand if you'd like to really, really ground in. But I'd like to invite you to explore this with your sense of touch, the earth element. Anything that is in your home, if you like to step outside, you're welcome to. Noticing the textures, picking up on any hardness or softness, textures, and just noticing simply what arises as you sort of commune with this earth element, right? And we'll be doing that for, I think we can do that again for another 6 minutes. All right, so think of this as a little meditation, if you will, with the earth element that you choose. The sense of touch, and I'll call you back in about 6 minutes with the flute. All right, enjoy. Welcome back, everyone. Leaning into the earth element, the sense of touch. What called you? What were you drawn to? You're welcome to share. I wish we had a little more time. I do, but you know what? I'm going to shorthand this. You can look up Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Are you familiar with him? Thich, Thich Nhat, Nhat, Han, H-A-N-H. Is that right? Han? I think so. We did the 4 elements today. There's a practice that, or a way of seeing, if you will, seeing, called interbeing. And I don't know if this would be helpful to you, but I'm just gonna say it to you really quickly. There is a writing he has on paper. And so when you see this piece of paper, just for example, what do you see? Right? When you see this piece of paper, what do you see? You see not just the paper itself, right? Not just the writing on the paper, not just that you might think that it's a tree, but that within this paper is sunshine and clouds and the person who felled the tree and the mother who fed the bread to the person who felled the tree. Or, you know, everything is in this piece of paper. Nothing is not connected. And so when you say paper, there's a whole poetic opening to what it is. And that's true for anything. But the example he uses is around paper. So if you look up Thich Nhat Hanh, interbeing paper, hopefully that will show up for you. There's a piece, a writing on it. It's a little brief writing on what that means. Yeah. All right, I want to honor our time together. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to say before? I don't want to cut anyone off. We're all good. Okay, so I have a few words around the light and the dark, a very short little poem here. Words from Wendell Berry. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark. To go without sight and find that the dark too blooms and sings and is traveled by dark feet and dark wings. Put that in the chat too real quick. This is Wendell Berry. I don't have his name attached to it, but that's Wendell Berry. All right, everyone. What I like to say is for all of our shares, gathering the goodness of our time together, letting that land in our heart, bringing that to our heart, letting it deeply be here, deeply within. Allow it to nourish us and nurture us as we go forward with our day and our days ahead. Much gratitude to you all. Happy winter solstice. Be well.